Hello viewers, I welcome you to this edition of our program on the Health Center with Ozion Atkunye, and today I bring you the topic, the pathophysiology of hypertension. Of course, you will want to know what causes hypertension, and that is what I have bring in this particular form to enhance your knowledge in terms of what actually causes all this and how does it happen. Hypertension is simply high blood pressure, and here bringing it to you is Ozion the Expression, is your host and regular anchor on this program, on this Health Center with Ozion. And what causes this? How does this happen? The liver has a role to play, as well as the kidney, as well as the lung, and several other factors. And that is why I say that this is a complex interplay between the major organs in your body in terms of making your blood to become very high in terms of pressure. Even your heart has a role to play, and here is how it happens. The liver drop, if the liver and all these organs try to create balance for your blood so that it doesn't go low, it doesn't go high. But when there is a certain level of threat to your blood that is gonna go low, even if it is a very minutesimal level, you wouldn't even notice it. All that happens is that your liver drops what is called the angiotensinogen in the blood. When the liver drops angiotensinogen in the blood, it goes down and the kidney receives it, giving it the renin. When the renin comes down, it breaks down the angiotensinogen into angiotensin 1. The angiotensin 1 is an inactive form of this hormone. So what happens now is that since it is inactive, it requires something to make it active. The lung immediately drops ACE, angiotensin converting enzyme, into the blood, coming down to that kidney level. It converts angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2, which is an active form of angiotensin, but this time it is equally called a vasoactive hormone. Vasoactive in the sense that it makes the vessel very active. So the vessel will become active and equally constrictive instead of being dilated. So everything becomes active, which means that even the blood, everything would have to go very fast. So now that the vessel has become active, has the blood become very active? The angiotensin 2, of course, makes the blood to be active because it helps in retaining sodium. Now, as it helps in retaining sodium, it active equally stimulates the kidney to produce certain hormones that helps in making this process very eventful. What does it release there? It releases aldosterone. Aldosterone now comes in, which helps in sodium and water retention in the blood. The sodium and water retention now increases the activities, making everything, because when the sodium is there, then the water is there. And the other thing that happens is that potassium goes out, and having sodium in means that the blood pressure will increase. And when this increases, the pressure in the heart increases as well, because there is increased workload for the heart, trying to pump very well, as this has increased the pressure. The pressure may not be too high, but this happens normally just to create a balance. But when there is an event that has caused your blood to become too high in terms of pressure, then that is when the heart will become so hard in terms of its pushing. And what could be that event that would cause it? This happens over time because of the lifestyles that you live. Maybe you're a smoker. If you're smoking, what happens to you? The smoke you're taking from cigarettes has a way, the constituents of this smoke, there are a lot of constituents in this smoke, but the nicotine, tar, and so many other things go into your blood vessels, they go in there and cause oxidative stress, causing oxidative stress as well as inflammatory responses that causes injury on the endothelial cells, which means the tissues of your vessels become damaged gradually. Most of these things that are left in the walls of these vessels cause damages, and when there are damages there, the proteins that protect these vessels are being depleted. What happens as well is that because your body will keep working with the cycle of producing this angiotensin 2 to balance your blood whenever it wants to be low, then at any time there is angiotensin 2 production, there is equally, from recent discovery, that there is equally an increase in thrombin. Thrombin is that blood protein that helps in terms of clotting. The level doesn't really clot unless there is a damage that has really been sustained for a long time, because this comes up at any time that this angiotensin II produces. But when there is damage in this artery, the effect of this thrombin begins to manifest very well. How? Because when this thrombin comes out during the angiotensin II production, its movement on the walls and its effect on that wall changes, because at the point where there is oxidative stretch and damage, it now becomes sticky, and it now covers that area without moving as it used to. So in terms of covering that area, a lot of other elements and materials pack up in that particular place. Certain things like the lipids, the fat you eat, and you wonder what kind of fat you eat that will cause this. Of course, certain fats from like sugar, the sugar you eat could equal certain sugar like simple sugar, of course, and the simple carbohydrates. How does this happen? The liver finds it difficult to break this down into the extent that you will use the energy again. How this happens as well is that because this causes increased release of insulin to be able to carry this sugar into your body to be used as for metabolism, forming energy. So when this increases the demand for the pancreas to release insulin, it's called hyperinsulinemia. Then there is equally hyperglycemia. This hyperglycemia is now because the sugar is high in the blood. This also triggers high thrombin, and as well as the platelets having this kind of event. These whole and the lipids from the food you eat, certain food like the deep fries from potato fries, which equally has a lot of acrylamides. Acrylamides are toxins or industrial toxins that are equally found in this kind of food. So many other food, unhealthy food, processed meat, red meat, and the whole lot of food that you would see on the screen and as well you may know are now what comes in terms of fatty acid, in terms of high triglyceride. Those form ectopic fats that you find in the visceral area of your body, amassing the areas where the essential organs are, as well as causing you subcutaneous obesity. To some whom it hasn't even caused subcutaneous obesity, because there are some kind of damages in the walls of their vessels. These clog up there, and that is called atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis now becomes a kind of a dumping point that where these fats and other materials, protein, form and clog up, thereby causing the pressure of this blood that is coming at a certain time to increase, because it is now a blockage. It's the blockage, not that it may have blocked completely that part through which the blood will flow, but at that point it has blocked. The volume of the blood that was moving normally at the other point will not move normal when it comes to that blood. So the push will increase at that particular place, making this particular place very highly resistant. And therefore, when this blood moves across this place, that place, there will be difference between the blood flow in this other area and the blood flow in this other area. And this causes high pressure, and this is high blood pressure. So what now happens to this? If this continues to push, it will form, and it will now cause a different thing, which is a complication of hypertension, and that would be embolus, which will go into either the heart to cause your cardiovascular accident, or it goes to your brain to cause your stroke. So there's a lot of other complications that this might equally cause you when it is extended. But sustained increase in this pressure, which is hypertension, and sustained damage that has caused due to several things, lifestyle that you eat, maybe smoking or even alcohol, that also destroys the kidney. Because of the pressure, the center for filtration or waste management of the body, where this fluid and the blood are being filtered, it finds it difficult when this alcohol comes. The alcohol also destroys the liver, causing you non-fatty liver dysfunction, which is called non-fatty liver disease. And it equally causes you hepatitis. So in the process of this metabolism of alcohol, which goes to passing through the acetaldehyde and the rest of the things that happened, the events that happened there. Your liver is damaged, your liver is having problem, as well as your kidney when it comes to the volume of the blood, and as well as the releasing of the water to the extent that's what you call a diuretic, because excess alcohol would make you to be dehydrated due to the way alcohol functions in the body, in the liver and the kidneys. It acts as diuretic. So these are a whole lot of things to explain, but I'll just bringing it to you the way it will help us understand it better. Then now, understanding this means that if you continue with a certain lifestyle that makes your blood vessel to be damaged, maybe smoking, the other one is alcohol that damages this organ that do these particular functions that I have explained, and as well as the food you eat, certain foods that now clog up the arteries, especially where you have this damage. Now you're not equally eating foods that will help replenish this or equally help in preventing you this. Certain foods like fiber, especially soluble fiber, antioxidants and anti-inflammatory effects, help in terms of regulating the amount of cholesterol that goes into your bloodstream from your intestine. When your food is being digested in the intestine, there is a kind of foods coming from fruits and vegetables, avocado, banana, and the rest of them. Those that produce inulin help in your microbiome guts, but this time we're talking about certain other things that they produce that help, which is fiber, that help in restraining certain bad cholesterol from going into your blood and helping them to go out when your food is going out, as well as helping in your bowel movement. This is called fiber, especially the soluble fiber. So this whole interplay affects both your kidney, affects your liver, affects your lung, as well as the heart where this pumping happens. It's in the heart that this embolus can affect. Not just that, the increased demand of the pressure that happens in the increased pressure of the heart that happens during this time, it could cause heart damage to different degrees, and as well as oxygen, because the blood itself transmits oxygen to the whole part of the body, and when this oxygen is in low supply, then when this blood is in low supply, then oxygen is in low supply. So this simply would give you a picture of what hypertension is. For now, let's stop here, and I would have to explain this further in another video, and I hope this makes sense to you. If it does, please click like and share this. Don't forget to comment and continue to follow, because I'm gonna be giving you the best and the simplest way you will understand this. Thank you for following. I remain your anchor, and here is your favorite power station. Take care.